Hello, and welcome to another installment of our Yes Leads video training series, where we'll feature a new activity that your Yes Leads groups can do during presentations. Today's activity is called Losing Your Coordination. It's a hook activity and should take about 5 minutes and can be used for presentations about drugs and alcohol. You can find it on page 38 of your Yes Leads manual. All that's required for this activity are 2 posters with an identical dot pattern drawn on each. You'll also need a marker and 2 volunteers. You're going to have your first volunteer come up and try to connect the dots on your first poster as quickly as possible. It shouldn't take them more than a couple seconds to do. It's a very easy task. Your second volunteer is going to come up and do the same thing with the second poster. The only difference is that they have to spin around 20 to 25 times beforehand. As a safety precaution, you may want to have a Yes Leader help them spin so that if they do get dizzy, they don't fall into anything and get hurt. Once they try to connect the dots, though, it's going to be a lot less organized than your first volunteer's work, and you want to debrief with them and ask them how difficult their task was. Obviously, the first one's going to say it was a lot easier than the second one. The purpose of this activity is to illustrate that under the effects of drugs and alcohol, it's a lot harder to do basic tasks. Very similar to many of our other activities, but you want to make sure that you drive home that alcohol, especially, will make you dizzy. It makes things harder to do. So with that, enjoy our demonstration of the video, Losing Your Coordination. Okay, so now that we've covered the 10 ways to make safe choices, we're going to move on to our first activity. I need a volunteer. Oh, me! Yes, you, come on up. What's your name? My name's Jake. Okay, Jake, what I'm going to have you do is I'm going to have you connect the dots on this poster from left to right, okay? Not very hard, just go ahead and take that marker and get started. Okay. And did you think that was easy or hard? It was really easy. Alright, I need another volunteer now. Me! Yes, you, come on up. Alright, so what's your name? Andrew. What I'm going to have Andrew do right now is I'm going to have you do the same exact thing. So here's the marker. And what I want you to do is I want you to spin around 25 times before you get going. Okay? So go ahead and start spinning. Try not to fall over. 2, 3, 4. $15, $16. You find that to be easier or harder than what Jake did? I'm all dizzy. That was really tricky. All right, great. You can go sit down. What do you think this activity was trying to show? Yes. When you're under the influence of drugs or alcohol, even a simple task like connecting the dots can become a lot harder to do. Exactly. What this activity was trying to show is that tasks are made a lot harder when you're under the influences of drugs and alcohol. For instance, Jake's drawing is very clean and organized. It's put together well. Whereas Andrew, if he was under the influence of drugs and alcohol, he had a harder time connecting the dots. It's a lot messier. It definitely took him a lot longer to do. So this activity just kind of shows that drugs and alcohol are bad for you because they make it hard to do things like walking, talking, driving a car. You hear about people getting in accidents all the time. So that's why we're here today. We're here to show you that it's not always a good idea to do what your friends say. And if you are stuck in a situation where someone wants you to drink or they want you to smoke a cigarette, you should always say no. And you can use one of the 10 ways to make safe choices that we talked about earlier to do that.